She did everything right. She tracked her cycle, changed her diet, cut out alcohol, went to the doctor more than once, and still, nothing. If that sounds like you or someone you love, keep watching, because what I'm about to tell you changes everything. I'm Dr. Naya, and today we are talking about infertility, not the way it's usually talked about, where everyone whispers and nobody explains anything, but straight and clear,
John
like
Smith?
you deserve.
Yes,
Let's
that's
start
me.
with the real
Right this way,
definition.
please.
Infertility
Okay, thank
is
you.
the inability to achieve a clinical pregnancy after 12 months of regular, unprotected sex in women under 35, and 6 months for women 35 and older. And the first thing you need to understand is that infertility is not the same as sterility. It is not a punishment, and it is not rare, because the World Health Organization reports that 1 in 6 people globally are affected at some point in their reproductive lives. Now, people hear the word infertility.
Fertility
and
refers to the
immediately
natural
think
capability to
PCOS,
produce offspring. Infertility is
endometriosis,
defined as the builder's regular,
fibroids,
unpetted
or blocked
intercourse.
tubes.
Welcome
And
to
yes,
Hope Clinic.
those
Time flies
conditions
here.
are real.
We're
They are
ready when you
important,
are.
and they do affect fertility. But here is what nobody explains in the same breath. Most women with PCOS can get pregnant with the right support. Most women with endometriosis do conceive either naturally or with assistance. Most fibroids cause no problems at all, and a significant number of women walking around with these diagnoses may have been diagnosed too quickly, too partially.
Let's
or
talk about
without the full
infertility.
picture
It can be
being
caused by many
investigated.
factors,
Because
like age,
infertility
hormones,
is not
lifestyle,
one
and
thing.
genetics.
It is
Think
an
of it
outcome,
like a
like
match.
a fire that can
Add
be
lightning
started
to the
by
wiring,
a match,
and a
by
gas
lightning,
leak explodes.
by faulty wiring, or
Welcome
by
to
a
Hope
gas
Clinic.
leak.
Let's
And
talk about your
treating the
ovaries.
match does not
This
put out
diagram
the
shows the
gas leak.
pearl-like
One of the
follicles
biggest
inside.
missing pieces in this conversation, and the one most doctors don't bring up in a standard consultation, is your immune system. And I need you to hear this clearly. When an embryo implants in your uterus, it contains genetic material from 2 people, which makes it immunologically half foreign. And in a healthy pregnancy, your immune system does something extraordinary. It recognizes the embryo, tolerates the foreign half, and steps back, just enough to allow implantation to happen through a process called immune tolerance. But when this system is out of balance, it can attack the embryo, prevent implantation, cause early miscarriage, cause recurrent miscarriage, and cause IVF failure. And many of these women will be told their infertility is unexplained. Natural killer cells in the uterus, UNC cells, when overactivated, are associated with implantation failure and recurrent loss. Antiphospholipid syndrome causes blood clotting in the tiny vessel supplying the embryo and is one of the most common treatable causes of recurrent pregnancy loss, yet it is almost never screened for routinely. Thyroid. Autoimmune uveitis can cause the immune system to attack the ovaries directly, reducing egg quantity and quality over time. And if you have any autoimmune condition, rheumatoid arthritis, Hashimoto's, type 1 diabetes, celiac disease, your fertility workup must include an immunological evaluation, because these things are not separate. They are connected. Your immune system is also shaped by everything around you. Chronic stress elevates cortisol, which suppresses the hormone signals that drive ovulation and shifts your immune system into a pro-inflammatory state. Endocrine disruptors like BPA and plastics, phthalates in personal care products, and Faz and non-stick cookware mimic or interfere with hormones and have been linked to reduced egg quality, altered cycles, and poorer fertility outcomes. Disrupted sleep reduces melatonin and reproductive hormone pulses that occur specifically during the night hours, and low-grade inflammation from diet, gut dysbiosis, and environmental toxins runs as a thread through nearly all of these immune and hormonal disruptions. Now, let's talk about testing, because the standard fertility workup, while it covers the basics, frequently does not include thyroid antibodies, antiphospholipid antibodies, natural killer cell evaluation, celiac antibody screening, vitamin D levels, DNA fragmentation for the male partner, or a full thrombophilia panel. And if you have been told your infertility is unexplained, or if you have had 2 or more miscarriages. These are the tests worth asking for specifically. Because unexplained does not mean there is no reason. It means the reason has not been found yet. And this brings me to the point I have been building toward this entire video, because while we've spent most of this time talking about the woman's body, and there are good reasons for that, I would be doing you a serious disservice if I didn't make this absolutely clear. In approximately 50% of infertility cases, a male factor is involved, and in approximately 30% of cases, it is the primary cause. Yet the semen analysis is, frequently, the last test done in a fertility workup when it should logically be one of the first, and beyond basic semen analysis, DNA fragmentation testing can identify sperm DNA damage that looks invisible on a standard test, but contributes to poor embryo quality, early miscarriage, and IVF failure. So here's my question for you to take with you today. While you have been the one getting tested, tracking cycles, changing your diet, worrying, researching, hoping has your partner had a semen analysis? If the answer is no, that is where you start. Infertility is a shared investigation. You are not broken. You may have an unanswered question, and questions have answers when you know to look for them, and when you have the language to ask. Start with the full picture. Test both sides. You deserve a complete answer, not a partial one.